Hello again. I have 4 journals. I'm doing lickety-split here. So, sorry for the boring background and the talking head and all that. Logitech just did a major upgrade or whatever with their webcam software, and all my little video toys are gone. So, all we have is just what you see. Now, this one's from March 4th of 2010. The Mayan day is 8 Earth, and it's on will. It's called Seeking Lost Self. Will. This may be a private journal. Let's see. During the very recent Matrix Energetics Seminar in Phoenix, I actually pulled together whatever it took to ask a challenging question. This one. From whence does will arise when one has merged into the greater wholeness, the larger self, capital S? Once you've lost yourself, the one that's so easily seen and identified with, once that is long gone into the no mind, the no-identifiable self, what then? Who acts? Words cannot explain this state. Those who are or have been there will know. Let others look on or just go elsewhere. It is what it is, and this is where I am right now. So step into heart. Tune in. So, the Matrix Energetics class was an advanced one for whizards, they call it, W-H-I-Z-A-R-D, for alchemists. Some actual magic was even taught, but what is that but alchemy anyway? One will manifest what is within one's heart, no matter what route or path one takes, no matter what the doing that might be involved. I have no need of spells and incantations, and I'm glad, because none was taught. My point, though, is that the seminar presupposed that one had a self from which to act, a will to guide the way. I don't have that. It was a challenge. So, on the second day, and at question time, I spoke up with my somewhat radical question, yet feeling better about asking it in the midst of those more advanced in such things. This was what they call a level 3 seminar. Having lived with this question quietly there in the background for some time, I did not really expect an answer or one that I could use. And I had to ask, though, so I did. What else she said, I do not know, but one of the presenters gave me this: do what is fun. And it clicked. This I can do, can find self enough within to pursue my joy, my bliss. These are so often with me anyway, being in me, as me, that it is a light burden. Follow your bliss. Ah, heavenly answer. No, this does not yet tell me who or even what I am, but that's fine. I'm just as all and as nothing as before. Someone piped up from the audience, shouting that I should read Jed McKenna's books, that they would help. And so I have his trilogy now. I'm looking quite forward to the experience the reading will bring. Having read through the table of contents of the first volume, I know he's right on track, which is quite off the rails, and I like that. It shall be great fun, among other things. Have you ever noticed how your stuff comes up when you read good books? It's a wonderful dance, this life that we live, with its endless synchronicities, spurring intuition and delight. So often, though, the door to the joy is through the crap and the muck. It gets more and more interesting, too, as we get more and more willing to greet these with love and with trust, simply knowing that our best is always served up, no matter the look of it. So, anyway, I've read a few pages already, and I must stop and absorb what I am heading toward, and what I am heading away from is the book's initial question, and it's deep. What indeed? Now that speaks to one on a path, and I'm no longer that, but I'll take up the challenge all the same. Parenthetically, arrogance is a fiend sometimes, and humility the fiend, but they replace each other off and on. One just never knows, you know. Thus it pays above all to be nimble. All right, whatever I'm heading to, I think I'm already there. I'm it, I'm that. There's no that I'm not. So, when you're already everything and even everywhere, where's to go? What's to do? And who do the doing anyway? I'll just let this one sit and move on. What am I moving away from, he asks. Good question. Though I'd like to say nothing, that wouldn't be quite true. I still don't race up to the devil and embrace it, though I at least acknowledge it to be God, an aspect or facet of the one God. Now don't run away. After all, how could it be otherwise in the midst of omnipresence? It simply is, and I'm fine with that. Everything's one, you know. Yeah, that's right. The devil is one with and part of God, too, just like me. I still don't run up to greet it, though, so that counts as a running away, a walking away from. And what else? Well, now, that's interesting. You see, when one focalizes one's consciousness into just one body-mind, into one being, then there are natural go-tos and go-froms. For instance, if someone you trust just keeps stealing from you again and again, in spite of all your efforts to change that, you go from. It's natural. Actually, it would be considered pretty stupid to keep playing that game, right? I suppose so, though I really don't know. Don't get me wrong here. Don't try to pinpoint me, or you'll find I've moved over there. Don't think I know anything either, okay? I know I don't, and that's about all I know, really. It's like saying what's good and what's bad, isn't it? And it's all good, so that's challenging. It's all good, even the stealing, even the devil and its deeds. It's all good. All appears in the right time, at the right place, for our best possible blossoming and becoming. Life changes massively when we begin to greet it that way. Okay, now that's the end of this journal, but you know, this is from March and it's now October, so I'm going to step in and say, when I started here, I didn't explain very well this losing of the self. And so those of you that have done it, you'll understand. But when you disidentify from the body, which most of us can do, I mean, you can even use the mental concept of the OBE or the NDE. If you've ever had that happen to you, you know beyond any shadow of a doubt that you're not the body, and that the body can die, and that doesn't really affect you. It really doesn't. Okay, so that's nice. And so you know you're not the body. But that doesn't tell you who and what you are. And when you let go like this, you don't have a will. You see, we have mind steering our ship of state. Almost all of us, until we wake up. It's the mind that runs things. I guess sometimes maybe it's the emotions. People are put together differently. I like that, oh gosh, I can't call it to name, the name of it to mind. There's a personality profile that gives you 4 letters that does a pretty good job of trying to, maybe it'll come to me later, of trying to describe the differences in people, and they're legitimate and they're vast. But I think we all lose the I, we lose the will when we begin to disidentify. And we just don't know what that is anymore, so we don't know where we're speaking from. We don't know who's speaking. And most of our wants have to do with the body-mind. The body's hungry, or the mind wants some entertainment, or, I mean, that's what drives everything. And so when you step out of that and really begin to seriously let go and disidentify, it won't seem so strange to you that I could be writing about not having a will or any wants. And so I don't know if that helped or hurt, but anyway, there's a little PS. Talk to you soon. There's one more of these.